So as somebody that absolutely loves animated movies, I am pretty biased in this opinion, but I have to say I actually really enjoyed 10 Lives, a lot more than I thought I would have done. I mean, I wasn't really convinced or too sure when the movie first started, as I thought it was a little bit slow, but then when the main concept of the movie took place, I actually thought this movie was really, really wicked. And I have to say, I thought it was actually pretty innovative in terms of taking the concept of a cat and its 9 lives and then superimposing this with different animals and extending it to 10 lives and just teaching lessons with every single instance and making every single example really, really funny. And so I think this movie became really, really strong, and there are so many messages that you can just take away as an audience member in terms of really growing as a person, all about second chances, and also being really careful about who you put your trust in. And speaking of which, the Rose second base storyline was really, really good too, in terms of the wider narrative of Rose creating something really pioneering and really innovative with bees, and not realizing that her evil boss is actually manipulating this situation for his own advantage. I really do feel like they could have taken that storyline and really 10x'd it and made it so much more impactful, as they took that evil boss character, and he definitely did do some awful things, but I feel like they made him a little bit too comedic and a little bit of a doofus, whereas they could have really made him this evil genius and made him even more mischievous and manipulative and just really dark and cunning. But like I said, I feel like the central messages that this movie is conveying is really, really good, especially in terms of putting other people's needs sometimes before your own, not being so self-centered and selfish, and just the growth that a lot of these characters experience across this movie was really, really good. So let's go through all of the different characters one by one. So first up we have Mo Gilligan, who honestly did such a good performance as Beckett. I feel like his voice acting alone, you could really feel all of the different emotions that Beckett was going through, and I feel like you're really sad when he is really sad, you're really happy and gleeful when he is really happy, you're annoyed when he's saying this happy perfect dog. So I feel like he honestly brought him to life in the best way possible, as you're really with the Beckett character from start to finish. And speaking of from start to finish, I feel like his growth trajectory is just so good, as he starts off as this little bit of a spoiled brat type character, and then he learns so many lessons, like I said, with pretty much every single life. So where he is by the end of this movie is in a complete contrast to where he is right at the start. Similarly, Simone Ashley did a really good job in terms of bringing Rose to life. I was absolutely loving the diversity in this movie. I feel like they made Rose a little bit too perfect and a little bit flawless, and I would have loved it if she had a couple more layers. I thought she made a really good partner in crime with her ex-boyfriend Larry. I feel like together they were really, really good and really, really funny, especially right in the beginning when Beckett just sees Larry as his enemy and just wants to remove him from the picture altogether. I thought Bill Nighy was good, even though I did criticize his performance a lot. I do think he was good for what he did do as the wickedly nefarious tutor Craven, and he does cause so much chaos and carnage for Rose and Larry in this movie. Like I said though, I would have just loved a couple more layers to this character, as he could have been an even bigger and better villain. Zayn Malik from One Direction was voicing both of the henchmen, and he actually sings in this movie too, so I thought that was really, really cool to have him here. So overall with 10 Lives, while I definitely think they could have definitely pushed the envelope with certain aspects, and whilst the animation style does take a little bit of time to get used to, I do actually think the end package with this movie is really, really enjoyable. And I think by the end of it, the final couple of sequences in this movie really do stay with you. And I think that's a real clear test of a good movie, one which really has got a powerful ending and so many lessons that the audience member can take away. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give 10 Lives a very solid 6.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of this film? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.